Today, we're hiking through a desert canyon in search of ancient petroglyphs. Will we find them? Come along on this adventure to find out. Human habitation in these mountains is said to date back thousands of years to the early Holocene epoch. That was a different time when the climate was much wetter and the deserts had just begun to form. Evidence of that habitation can still be found in the lithic scatter of stone tool making, rock quarries, habitation sites, and petroglyphs, symbols carved into rock. Locations like this hold deep spiritual and cultural value for native peoples and archaeologists, and as visitors, it is our job to both revere and protect the work of ancient man. Their existence can teach us much about not only the ancient ways, but about ourselves and our relationship to the modern world. By entering such locations, it is my hope to emerge renewed, with a changed perspective and appreciation for this one precious life. So we've made it to a spring here, and where there's water, there's life, animals, and prior human habitation. Probably the most notable, or at least one of the most common petroglyphs found in this region is that of the bighorn sheep. Revered for its life-giving magic, the desert bighorn was an integral part of native culture. It's theorized that the number of bighorn sheep in the California deserts was much higher during the far wetter Pleistocene epoch, but that over the course of the past several thousand years with the warming, drier climate, their numbers have dwindled. Walking through this canyon, one can feel the magic of the old ways in the strange and colorful formations of the rocks. Here is our first petroglyph. See us here. It's really faded, hard to see up there. Here we are. Circular. And some lines that go up here. Really faded, really hard to see. But we turn around and look over here. We see some more. This is an addle circle with a line going down through it. It's hard to tell what this is. This area clearly would have been a hunting area for the animals that are coming up the wash. The addle is an ancient hunting tool that preceded the bow and arrow, which only entered the area about 1500 years ago. Hunters would use this spear-like contraption to hurl darts or arrow points at their prey. The ancient addle is said to contain a stone or weight, which may have instead served as a good luck charm. The large stone depicted in this image may have increased its magical power. And on the ground here, see this little piece of white rock? This is a knapping, very sharp one indeed, from another rock that was being used to make some kind of a tool. The indigenous tribes in this area primarily used quartz, chert, chalcedony, and obsidian for projectile and spear points. Tools like this mono were also smoothed out and used to grind various grains and other foods for consumption. So you can see here on this rock that it's been smoothed down, and most likely this is where people would have perhaps honed certain tools for use in hunting. This petroglyph is unique in its depiction of what appears to be a family. There are 3 or 4 anthropomorphic figures, one of which may be a child. Here you can see 2 clearly defined periods of inscriptions. The lighter has had less time to repatinate and is therefore younger. This marking may be where a hunter pounded stone against rock to mimic the sound of two bighorn in a headbutting contest during the rutting season, and therefore draw a curious male into a trap. I can't help but think that the wavy lines here are a map illustrating this mountain and the various canyons leading in and out and where to find water. There's lots of very old petroglyphs that are clearly faded, hundreds of years, upwards in this area of a couple thousand years or even more. But this right here is particularly interesting. This is a pecked number. And if you look at it, it says 1, 8, 4, 9. And one thing I know about this area is that in 1849, I believe it was December, in the middle of winter, a man by the name of William Lewis Manley and another by the name of John Rogers crossed through these mountains going west, hoping to find supplies for a party that they were with that were stuck in Death Valley. Could this be an inscription left here by John Rogers or William Lewis Manley? In his book, Death Valley in 49, Manley wrote about this area, "We had no idea we could now find any water. The course was up a gentle grade and seemed quite sandy and not easy to travel. It looked as if there was an all-day walk before us, and it was quite a question if we could live long enough to make the distance." Thanks for watching this episode of Artistic Off-Road. We'll see you next time.